This ABC 15 Flash Briefing is sponsored by Sanderson Ford. Straight up.
Hello, I'm Allison Rodriguez with your top stories from ABC15 Arizona. New CDC data showing nearly 2 million doses of the coronavirus vaccine have already been administered. Officials say another 9.5 million are ready to go. Here in Arizona, there are several vaccination locations, but we are still in phase 1. So the priority is healthcare workers with long-term care facilities starting to get their shots this week. AstraZeneca's chief executive says they are confident their vaccine will work against the COVID-19 variant being seen in the United Kingdom. The CEO saying their team of researchers have found a, quote, winning formula. AstraZeneca's vaccine has proven to be about 70% effective in making sure people don't contract COVID-19. Compare that to the one developed by Pfizer and BioNTech, which have proven to be about 95% effective. Well, this week, Americans hitting the roads and skies after several days of holiday travel. But what does this mean for the spread of the virus? TSA saying the past few days have been the busiest since the pandemic began. There have been 3 days where more than 1 million people were flying. That's way less than normal for this time of year, but health experts worry the busier airports will lead to spikes across the country.
We always see a little bit of a bump after holidays and sometimes a large bump. But what the important thing for people to understand is that even if you traveled, it doesn't mean you just throw your hands up in the air and say, oh, well. There are measures that you can take.
So what are those measures? Well, the CDC recommending you get tested 3 to 5 days after you return. And even with that test, though, limit your time outside your house for a week. If you don't get a test, it is suggested you at least self-isolate for 10 days. Well, help is finally on the way for millions of Americans, and the federal government will stay open now that President Trump has signed a coronavirus relief and omnibus funding bill. It took Congress 6 months to negotiate the bipartisan relief bill. The president waiting until the last minute to sign the bill, but still wants larger relief checks for Americans, which is currently at $600. The House will vote on the issue today. However, the delay in approving the bill is already having consequences. As Americans getting the extra $300 in unemployment benefits will likely miss 1 week of payments because of the delay. And the bill also providing billions of dollars to struggling industries, and that includes $15 billion for airlines, which have seen major layoffs this year. Emily Marsh is an American Airlines flight attendant based here in the Valley. She was furloughed earlier this year and hopes this relief bill is going to help get her back to work.
The year 2020 has been really hard on all of us, and I think we're all hoping for a sigh of relief here at the end of it to bring us into 2021.
So the new stimulus plan also includes funding to help small businesses across Arizona and the U.S. Well, developing today, an 18-year-old shot and killed on Christmas Day, and still no answers and no idea as to why. Tyler Cardiel was walking home after working the night shift at Circle K to open presents with his mom and 11-year-old brother when he was shot and killed near 83rd Avenue in Glen Rosa. Police tell us that mom was shot in the chest, but they have no leads on who did it or why.
He came and he gave me a hug goodbye, and he's like, Mom, I'm just going to work. And he doesn't normally hug me goodbye every night when he goes to work, but he did because I was crying. And now I'm grateful for that hug because that was the last time I got to see my son alive.
Yeah, your heart goes out to her. Police still investigating, and the suspect is still out there. We want to tell you about some changes now to the 35th annual Arizona Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Awards. The event is going to be held virtually. The event honors Valley residents who create a compassionate and socially just community. It will be broadcast on January 15th on the City of Phoenix's YouTube page at 11 a.m.
As we kick off this new week, winds are picking up statewide. Here in the Valley, we're talking about winds 10 to 15 miles an hour with gusts up to 25 miles an hour. Across the high country, those gusts could reach around 45 miles an hour. Can't rule out a stray spot hitting 50 miles an hour. Our temperatures are cooling down here in the Valley today, too, with a high of just 65 in places like Queen Creek, Scottsdale, Tempe, and Ahwatukee. But we're right on par for the average for this time of year. More 60s to our south and to our west, upper 40s across central Arizona and to our north. We're staying in the 40s in places like Flagstaff and Heber today, so certainly a cooler day on tap. Now, we do have a slight chance for rain here in the Valley, most mostly east of the valley, moving in overnight tonight into Tuesday morning. Our temperatures get even cooler on Tuesday with highs in the 50s, and then we dry out for the rest of the 7-day heading into 2021.
Well, for the latest headlines, weather, and traffic, head over to ABC15.com or download that free ABC15 mobile app.
This ABC 15 Flash Briefing is sponsored by Sanderson Ford. Straight up.